A lot of times in the past, in my comments, people tell me that they don't know where to start when it comes to fashion. They don't know what pieces to get or even where to get them. So that's why in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the best way to find your style and then how to start building your wardrobe after you find your specific style. But first, I just want to say two quick things. First is that just because you pick a specific style now for your wardrobe doesn't mean that you're going to be stuck with that forever. You just do whatever you want to do, and if another day you want to do this other style or you want to completely change your wardrobe the next week or the next month or whatever, then definitely just go for that. Don't feel like that by picking a specific style to build your wardrobe off of now, that means you're just stuck in one place and that you can't move. And then the second thing is that the reason it's smart, in my opinion, to pick one or two styles at a time and then build your wardrobe off of that is because you don't want to just have a bunch of random pieces of clothing in your closet that don't really go together at all. That's because if you have everything in your closet be the same or a similar style, that just makes it that much easier to put together a good outfit instead of combing through all these different styles of clothing and trying to put together one similar and cohesive outfit. But to get into it, here are some good ways that I think you could use to find your specific style. The first way is as simple as just going on Pinterest. When you go on Pinterest, just search up men's fashion or women's fashion and just scroll for days on end like you do on other social media platforms. But on Pinterest, every time you see a piece of clothing that you like or an outfit that you think looks good, just like catches your eye or something, then go ahead and save that to a Pinterest board. And over time, you build this huge board of all the stuff that you personally think looks good. And then your Pinterest account will actually start suggesting other similar styles and outfits on like your homepage. And then if you were to go onto my personal Pinterest account, all you would see is similar outfits to ones that I wear and ones that I make YouTube videos about. And then once you have a ton of outfits on that board, your board's just filled with tons of different styles and outfits or just what you think looks good, then that's when you take that and go shopping to find similar things. But I'll get into how to do that later in the video. All right, and the second way on how to find your style, super similar to the first way, is to go onto Instagram and pretty much just do the same exact thing. You're gonna wanna look through hashtags, look through fashion accounts of all different types of styles. And then each time you see a post similar to Pinterest, you're gonna wanna favorite that and then just do that over and over again until you get a huge collection of different outfits and styles. All right, but you may be asking, after you find all these hundreds of photos of different styles and outfits, how do I actually go about and like go shopping and find these specific things? And to that, I say there are a couple ways to go about it. And I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you guys. Since my personal style and the style that I make YouTube videos on is like vintage fashion, vintage streetwear, 90s style, stuff like that, then that's what I know the best. But I'm still gonna try and help you find specific pieces for your style by like suggesting other people or other videos that I found that would really help you out, because I don't want to give you guys advice on how to find stuff when I personally don't use it or I don't know much about it, because I don't want you guys to get bad information pretty much. All right, but here are the styles that I put up earlier in the video. I'm sorry if you don't see something that you were maybe looking for. I couldn't put every style ever on the screen or just like make a video about every style because there's like hundreds of styles, different types of styles, but these are those ones that just came to my head. But we're gonna start with vintage / 90s style, which is personally my forte. This is what I make YouTube videos about, and this is how I dress every single day. And I made a video about how to find this type of style online, so you can go ahead and watch that if you want like a more in-depth. But if you were looking to go in person, this is probably one of the easiest styles to go ahead and do, because it's mostly just all thrifted clothes. You go to places like Goodwill, Salvation Army, any type of thrift shop that you find. And yes, you may be digging through a lot of garbage clothes, but I mean 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 100 times you're digging through garbage clothing, you're gonna find a piece that you wear for like years. So if you go thrifting, don't get discouraged if you can't find anything. It kind of takes a while if you want to go the cheaper route. But if you're willing to spend more money to get into the style, there are a couple ways. Like how I mentioned in the video on how to shop for this style online, you want to go to like Instagram pages and stuff of people that sell specific vintage clothing. Now there are a lot out there, and it kind of depends on what you find. Some are cheaper than others and some charge ridiculous prices. I wouldn't suggest going ahead and buying those really expensive ones because it's not really worth it. And I mentioned this in another video also. I don't know if anyone else has these in their area, but where I live we have these, and they're called swap meets. It's pretty much just a big area where people set up tents and they sell like literally everything from clothes to food to knives. I don't know, just anything you could think of, they sell it. And a lot of these vintage Instagram accounts that I follow actually like set up shop there for like a day or like the weekend, and so you're able to go in person and it's way cheaper. They don't like overcharge you for a ton of stuff, but it's way easier than going to like Goodwills and thrift shops and sifting through a bunch of like crap. These people like actually do that for you and then sell the good stuff to you. Now the next style is one that I tried to do for a while, or I like did without knowing in high school just because I didn't really have a ton of clothes, is a minimalist style. So this means stuff that's like non-branded, very muted color palettes, not a ton of variation, like plain shirts, plain jeans, white shoes, stuff like that. I'll put up pictures of all these different styles that I'm talking about so you get like an idea of what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna put up 3 YouTube channels of people that have made specific videos on like the minimalist style because they dress that way. Now their channels aren't like all about fashion, stuff like that. A lot of them make lifestyle type videos, but each of these people have made a specific video on how to dress the specific way, and then in those videos they'll talk about where to get stuff like this. All right, the next style that I could think of off the top of my head was a skater type style. That includes stuff like Dickies pants, Vans old school, stuff like that, beanies, I don't know, kind of like a very broad type of style that could be seen as similar to like the vintage 90s stuff, but more like modern, I would say. But I'm gonna put 3 more channels on the screen that have made 1 or more videos about this and like how to shop for this type of style specifically. But if you're really desperate and you don't know where else to look, just go to the skate park, see how people are dressing. That's skater style for you. All right, and the 4th style is gonna be tech wear. And I'm not even gonna try and get into explaining tech wear because I don't wanna like butcher it or mess it up talking about it. I kind of have an idea of it, and I'll put up pictures obviously what it looks like. Go watch Frugal Aesthetics videos on it. I'll put his channel on the screen. He makes a ton of videos about fashion in general, but he pretty much knows a lot about this whole tech wear style. So if you really wanna get into it, don't take advice from me because I have no idea like anything about it really. All right, and lastly, the style, I didn't really know what the name of it was or how to name it, but so I just called it the fancy style. And that includes stuff like Chelsea boots, skinnier jeans, coats, raincoats, big coats, I don't really know, and like sweaters and stuff like that. And there's some pictures of what it looks like. It's just kind of like fancier, not like super streetwear-y like the way that I dress. But here are 3 more channels on this style specifically if you want to learn how to dress like that, because it's like quite the opposite of my type of videos, and so I'm not going to be the best at giving advice for it. All right, but that's all I gotta say on the subject. Hopefully I gave you some ideas on how to find your specific style. This is just personally how I do it, and so I'm sorry if there's other ways to go about it. This is just what I do. And I also hope I helped you take the next step on actually going and buying clothes like that by suggesting other channels that know more about it than I do, because I don't want to give you false information. But if you liked this video and got something out of it, definitely drop a like and subscribe. I post a new video every Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so subscribe and turn on post notifications. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next week.